For those of you who have always wanted a drone but aren't too sure which one to buy, then this video is for you, because today I will be reviewing the Mavic Air drone and I'll be discussing why I chose this and the other options that I was tossing up between. You guys won't believe it. I finally bought a drone. How exciting! Hey guys, it's Liz, and today is a very exciting video because I have finally bought myself a drone. I have wanted one for years, and I mean years. And the reason why I never got one up until now was because my boyfriend was always telling me, why would you get a drone? You're only gonna get it, play with it for a bit, and then put it away forever and never use it. It's just gonna be a waste of money. Well, I'm here to tell you, I finally have a use for it. Since starting this YouTube channel, I now hope to go do hiking videos, so I now need a drone. The idea with this drone is I would actually like to use it to film myself while I'm going hiking. So instead of being one of those filmers who sets up their tripod, puts their camera on it, and then walks in front of it, and then runs back to grab the tripod, and then walks further down the track to then set up the tripod again and put the camera on and film themselves. Before you know it, you've gone up and down the track 1,000 times. It slows your pace, and there's nothing worse than it taking half the day to get down to where you need to go and not having much time to film at your destination. My thought process behind getting this drone is because it's got the active track feature. So what I plan on doing is having it set up behind me and then walk down the track and then have it actually follow me and then somehow get it to land in front of me so I don't have to walk back to go grab my gear. When I finally had a purpose for getting a drone, I had to do a lot of research because I don't want to spend a lot of money on something that had too many features that I was never going to use, but then I also didn't want to spend a little bit of money and get the basic drone that didn't have the features that I wanted. So basically I was tossing up between getting the Mavic Mini Fly More combo, the Mavic Air Standard, or its latest version, which is the Mavic Air 2. Basically I was really keen on having the active track feature, so automatically the Mavic Mini Fly More combo was kind of already ruled out because it doesn't have the active track. So then it became a toss-up between the Mavic Air and the Mavic Air 2. So this is where it became really interesting. When you do your own research, you'll notice that the Mavic Air 2 actually has a lot more features. But to be honest, when compared against this, you read the features and you're kind of like, eh. Actually, let's have a quick look. So on the DJI website, they actually have their own article comparing the Mavic Air and the Mavic Air 2. So this is pretty much where I got all my information from. It's got different ISO ranges, which again, I don't care because the ISO quality in general is actually pretty darn good. So I'm not too concerned about it being better. It's also got this thing called Smart Photo, which is, it captures images quickly and easily, optimizing camera parameters, much like a modern day smartphone does. Again, don't care. The Mavic Air does a 32 megapixel sphere panorama. With the Mavic Air 2, it does a HDR panorama mode. So, but when you're looking at the comparative pictures on their website, I mean, it makes it look a little bit more flatter, but again, I don't care about that feature. Apparently the Mavic Air 2 has exceptional video performance with 4K at 60 frames per second with video at 120 megapixels per second. Now for me, 4K, I don't really care about that because I only ever film my videos in 1080 at 25 frames per second. So I'm like, I'm probably never going to use 4K anyway, unless I'm doing something really awesome, but at the moment I doubt it. So they all come with the same features. It's just the specifications of those features that have been tweaked or improved. And another thing too, the Mavic Air 2 comes with a lot more. So if you have a look on the Harvey Norman website, the Mavic Air 2 drone Fly More combo, Harvey Norman has it for $1,899. So you get the aircraft, you get the controller. This one comes with 3 batteries. However, the Mavic Air Standard only came with the 1. So for me, it was a bit like, I could actually do with extra batteries because obviously I'd be filming a lot. I'm going to chew through the batteries because they have only something like 20 minutes of life per battery. So that was for me a little bit of a hiccup. I kind of did prefer the combo of the Mavic Air 2 because it does come with the extra batteries. And if you were to buy the batteries separately, I've looked into it and it's a couple $100. So in all honesty, I think it's just something that I'm going to have to face if later down the track I do realize I need additional batteries. But for now, I'm just going to see how I go with the one. I might find that I didn't even need the extra batteries, so it's just something that I'm going to have to find out in the future. It comes with extra propellers. So this one only comes with 4 propellers. The Mavic Air 2 comes with 6. It comes with all different types of cables so you can connect different phones to it. They both come with a gimbal protector. They both come with a set of spare control sticks. The Mavic Air 2 came with a battery charging hub. This one doesn't. It's just got the power bank and the adapter. And the Mavic Air 2 also comes with a shoulder bag, whereas this one just comes with a case, which I'll show you in a minute. So the reason why I ended up getting the Mavic Air Standard was because, one, it was cheaper. It only cost me $1,200 as opposed to almost $1,900. I didn't have that kind of money. So for something that was basic, that's got the features that I know I'm going to use, for what I wanted to pay for it, I think it's a really good price. Plus, I don't think I was willing to spend $1,900 on something that, as of yet, I don't know how to fly and I could potentially break. And that's another thing too. If I do end up breaking it one day, I'll probably shed less tears over something that's cost $1,200 over something that cost $1,900. I guess you guys are all keen for me to finally open up the box and see what's inside. Trust me, I'm keen too. I have been waiting to film this video to finally pull everything out and have a look myself. So let's get into it. Oh, I had to tape it because before the bottom of it fell out and the remote control fell. Alrighty, let's open it up. So this is the box. The color that I got is white, which I didn't know you could get in different colors, because trust me, I would have gotten the red one if you could, but hey, I got the white one, so whatever. But I have seen that you can get stickers for it, so just a hint to the boyfriend to get me a sticker for Christmas to put on my drone. So basically when you open it up, it comes very well packed. So this is the remote, which is actually pretty cool, because one thing that I did notice is that it actually comes with little stickers on it with the instructions showing you how to expand all the components. So for example, it says here, unfold the antennas and the mobile device clamps. So I'll just do that, and I think I twist that and that. And then for the bottom part, which you can stick your phone in, you just pull it down like this. And then you've got your little adapter where you can stick your phone, because you've got your cord there. So this is the part that you can change to suit your style of phone adapter. Then in here, you've got your little joysticks, which just screw in just like that. So there's also spares of those, and the other one's just sitting in there. And then in here, you have, so those are those extra cables that I was telling you about for the different phone adapters. This one is the battery adapter. This, I'm assuming, is a cable for something. I'll figure it all out later when I put it on charge. And then this is obviously the battery adapter. That's pretty much it for that. And this part here, okay, so these are the extra propellers that I was talking about, so I hope I don't need to replace them anytime soon. So obviously you've got your support card. So it says here on the back, you get 2 new replacements, you get water cover damage and free shipping. Now I have read the T's and C's on this, so don't take it literally, but essentially they will replace it if it's a fault on their part. So say you're hovering above water and the device malfunctions, then they'll replace it. But if you flew it into the water or was flying it recklessly, they won't replace it. So that's on you. So make sure you read the fine print. Oh yeah, and you've also got in this box, I don't want to break it, these are the propeller guards. So they recommend using this the first few times you fly, or at least until you get confident, which I most certainly will be, because I don't want to break it. So apparently it just clicks in like this. There we go. And then these clips, they just clip over the feet. You just clip it on, and that's pretty much the guards all set. And these are the instructions. I literally spent an entire night reading through these, and then I read them again last night just to get my head around it. There's so much information in here. There's so much do's and don'ts. I'm so worried that if I stuff it up, I'm going to break it. So I want to make sure I'm really clear on the instructions and know what to do before I fly it. In all honesty, I'd recommend reading these thoroughly at least twice, because it's on you if you break it, and you want to make sure that you are covered. So if anything does happen to the drone, you want to make sure that you know you understand your rights and what you are covered for, especially because you've just spent over $1,000 on this toy. You then don't want to go and break it and be like, oh, I didn't read the bloody instructions. So read the instructions. And now for the part we've all been waiting for. The drone. Sorry, there's a plane going over. Sorry guys, it's because I live next to the RAF base. This is the case that the drone comes in. It's nice and small. It pretty much fits in one hand, which is perfect for when I'm going hiking. It doesn't take up much space in my bag, or even if I just want to carry it for a little bit. It's not too heavy, it's pretty compact. Let's have a look inside. So without tipping it out, that's how it looks inside the case. So we'll get it out. And the other good thing is too about the drone is it also comes with little stickers with instructions on it, which I have been finding really handy, because looking at this, being the blonde that I am, I go, what do I do to it? What do I have to do? So unfold the rear arm downwards. So essentially it's saying push it downwards, pop, and it goes out. And then do the same to this side. Yeah. And then for this one, I'll get the propeller out of the way, it says fold the front arms forwards. So just pull it out like that, and then do the same to the other side. And then it's got some instructions on the back on the battery and like how to take the front guard off. So before you go flying, you've got to take this protector off, and then it's just stuff about the battery, which I don't think I've really read yet. No, I haven't read that yet. Yeah, so that's pretty much the size of the drone. It pretty much takes up the size of my hand, as you can see there. How exciting. Oh, actually, also, I forgot to mention, these things come out too. Apparently, they're really important to bring down, so don't forget to bring those down. I'll probably keep the stickers on it for a bit until I get my head around, like, you know, not breaking it, because at the moment, because it's still so new, the parts are really stiff and I don't want to put extra pressure on something and break it. So, like, for example, I need to remember which arms fold in. So this one folds in. Oh my God. And then I've got to be careful with the propellers. And these fold down. Oh my God. You guys are probably cringing at watching me do this. Okay. Yeah. So that's it, packed away. And then, to be even more technical, it's even got a little diagram inside the bag on how to put it back in. So it says to put it back in like this. No, the other way. Ta-da! And now we're back in. So from what I understand, DJI don't actually sell the Mavic Air standard anymore. I think the reason is because obviously they're now selling the latest version, which is the Mavic Air 2. So that's pretty much also why I got it from Harvey Norman, and the fact that it's $1 cheaper than JB Hi-Fi. So every dollar counts. Haha. I wouldn't be surprised if this drone actually becomes discontinued soon, because obviously you've got the Mavic Air 2, which has just come out. But in all honesty, I'm not worried that it's going to become discontinued, because I see myself using this for a while. And if I don't crash it, it'll last for years to come. So another thing to note as well is the actual quality of the drone itself. I am actually quite pleased with how sturdy it feels. It doesn't feel like a cheap quality drone at all. Like, it's a decent weight. I think actually in the instructions it says about 400 grams or something. I could be wrong. Again, don't quote me on that. But like everything about it just seems so sturdy. Like the plastic is apparently toughened plastic, and the propellers, everything just seems like really good quality. Probably about a year ago when I was looking at getting a drone, I was so close to getting the Phantom. And the reason why I did want to get that style drone was because the idea that these propellers popped out, I was like, okay, all you need is a strong wind or to accidentally hit something and that propeller's just popped in and you've just lost your drone because it's going to go crashing to the ground. But in all honesty, when you pop these out for the first time, you're like, they're really sturdy. Like I'm trying to wiggle that back in now and it barely budges. Like that's me putting some force on it now, but just wiggling it, it's pretty sturdy, it stays in. So when I first felt that, I was actually more confident that it wasn't just going to collapse in on me. So yeah, the overall quality of the drone is actually really good. I reckon I could probably crash this a few times and still have it work. Quality of the case also is actually really good. It's hardcover, so it's not going to get squashed if you put it at the bottom of your bag. The propeller guards, I reckon they're pretty good quality. They're hollow behind, so they're actually pretty firm, so I feel like they wouldn't snap easy. So the fact that they're also hollow too means that they're also lighter, so it's less weight on the drone, which is already heavy enough as is. But just because they're hollow doesn't mean that they're flimsy. They're still pretty good quality. The controller itself also is quite sturdy. Like all the moving compartments are actually still quite rigid. I don't know if they're gonna like loosen up over time, but I mean, they're pretty good. Actually, I think I read in the instructions the other day that this has the ability to open 5,000 times. And I was like, so what happens when I hit 5,001? Is it just going to break in my hands? So I should probably stop opening and closing it because I actually got really paranoid when I read that. If I ever need to replace something and this becomes discontinued, I feel confident that it's not going to be an issue because I'm hoping that I won't break it bad enough to need a major spare part. But I guess if I'm just careful and don't do anything stupid with it, like in the instructions, they actually say to not fly it over water because the reflection of the water can actually throw out the sensors and cause it to lose its bearings, therefore crashing in the water. So as long as I don't do things like stupid things like that, and as long as you adhere to what you can and can't do with it, I think I'll be fine. I don't plan on being one of those idiot flyers who tries to see how fast it can go or to see what kind of crazy shot I can get. In all honesty, I just want it so when I go hiking, I can just film myself, maybe do some aerial photography because I think that'd be super cool. I've always wanted to do that. But other than that, I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with it, so I don't expect it to be breaking it anytime soon. For you guys, I guess that is one thing to keep in mind. DJI obviously isn't selling this anymore. Harvey Norman and JB Hi-Fi still are, but I don't know if they're just selling it until stock is no longer available. That I couldn't tell you, but just keep it in mind if you do decide to go for this type of drone. Maybe even just wait until the Mavic Air Fly More combo comes on sale and then just get that then. I don't know how much cheaper it would be. Another thing to note as well, you need an app to be able to fly the drone. So essentially you download the app onto your phone, and then when you plug your phone into the controller, you obviously launch the app, and that's how you control the drone. I've noticed that there are a lot of cool features, like the drone will actually tell you, or the app will tell you, if it's too windy, if the battery is running low, if you need to recalibrate it. Like they say, you don't even need to recalibrate it unless the app tells you. I think that's pretty cool because I remember being a kid and having these little helicopters my parents used to get me, and the amount of times I had to retune it because they were cheap, dodgy little helicopters, but the amount of times I had to retune it, and it just in the end drove me nuts because I spend most of the flight retuning it, and then you have to charge it again because the battery was so silly on that. But with this, it's so good that you don't have to recalibrate it. I also read that the app uses data. So that I'm a little bit concerned about because I only get 3 gigs a month. I don't use much data. Wherever I am, I'm always using Wi-Fi. So I'd be interested to see how much data it chews, especially if I'm always going out hiking every single weekend. Oh yeah, and the DJI app also has tutorials in it. Apparently it's got forums, it's got support. From what I can see, it's like an Instagram, but in the DJI app. So that could be interesting. It's got a studio where you can create movies from what you filmed through the app. I obviously haven't connected this up yet, so I'll probably do that tomorrow when I go down to Yarramundi Reserve near Penrith, just past Richmond. So that's it guys for this component of the video. The next time you see me, I'll be down in Yarramundi Reserve doing a little flight test and showing you guys how it works with the app and whatnot. It'll be my first time flying, so fingers crossed, and I'll see you all tomorrow.